Facebook. We are live. We're just checking all the technical stuff to make sure we're going live. Sorry about yesterday's technical difficulties, but I guess we were getting too much bandwidth. So I'm here with Miss Jill. How are we doing over there, Jill?
We are doing good. Looks like we are live.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So listen, I got a lot of cool things to talk to you guys about today in our Dig Deeper book review. Dig Deeper. Who remembers what the book review was about today? If you guys remember that, then you need to let me know what you remember. So today it's just me and it's you going deeper and deeper into our book review. So if you remember, I want to reward you with something. I got a brand new book coming out called My First Deal Playbook. If you remember, I'm going to give you a copy of that playbook. So you can type it in the comments, and we know when you type it in too, because we see the little time that you typed it in, and we know that you typed it in before I tell you what the book review is. But I got a new book coming out. It's called My First Deal Playbook. And this first deal of yours, or your second deal, or the deal of many for you, will help you understand the process you got to go through. That's my next book. I'm going to try to get that to be a bestseller too. And then I got one more book coming out after that. Why? Because I just want to write some books. That's what I want to do. I want to write some books. So here's the deal. Today's book review, for those of you that are joining me and for those of you that come back and watch this later, is Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Yes, that is what this review is all about. Now, before you guys start telling me you can't see the screen because it's too bright, I know it is. But I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about today, okay? So you want to pay attention to this. So the Dig Deeper book review today is all about changing your mindset and understanding that there is a secret formula to creating success in your life. And that formula is based on a process in which you have to go through mentally. It's a process in which you have to go through physically, and it's a process that you have to go through of letting go. Letting go of the past, letting go of the fears, welcoming and embracing what's coming, welcoming and embracing and being ready. One of the things we're going to talk about is stop wishing and start getting ready. Because what you want is absolutely out there. It's waiting for you, but you have to be ready for it, okay? Being ready is what's going to help you absorb and subconsciously be in the right state when it appears, and you have to take action on that. So the first thing we're going to talk about is really what the foundation of the book was about, and why Mr. Carnegie, who the book was the original intent, was Mr. Carnegie wanted to hire someone to go out, and what he realized is that success had been created by all types of people, and there's a list of them in this book if you guys haven't started thumbing through it yet. And the list is extremely long. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see the list, but that's a whole list of names of all the people he wanted interviewed, like Henry Ford, George Parker, E.M. Stoller, Dorothy Curtis, Esmond Roosevelt, David Hubin Bright, Bryant Jordan, Armin Schwab, Williams. I mean, the list goes on and on of just Rockefeller, Edison, Woolworth, Dollar, Fleas, Barnes. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of all the people that Carnegie realized had created massive success in their life. Like, these people had gone out and created massive success. And let me tell you something. You look at that list, not all these people were highly educated, not all of them came from wealth, but it wasn't education, it wasn't their history of what their family had done to pass on wealth to them. It was the ability for them to make shifts and changes in their current situation to grow and become better. Okay? The title of the book, Think and Grow Rich. Okay? And so that's what this is about. But here's what happened. Carnegie wanted to hire someone, and he said basically, this is a 20-year project. I need you to interview all these people for the next 20 years to see how they had created the success in their life. And so that's where Napoleon Hill came in. And so that's where Napoleon started the journey to write Think and Grow Rich, okay? But the first thing we're going to dig into is the story of Edwin Barnes. Now, if you don't know who Edwin Barnes is, I'm going to enlighten you on who Edwin Barnes is. And you want to hear a story about true manifestation, then learn the story of Edwin Barnes and how Edwin Barnes had this desire, and that's in chapter 1 we're going to talk about. But he had this desire to basically partner with Edison, okay? And if you guys know, we all know who Edison is, but he knew nothing about the business that Edison was in. He knew nothing about what was going on, but he manifested his vision and his willingness to say, this is what I'm ready for. I don't wish for it, I'm ready for it. And so we're going to talk about his story. We're going to move into chat. Now listen, I can't spend an hour and go through this whole book with you, but I'm going to give you some good points. But chapter 1, we're going to talk about desire. The starting point of everything in your life. Not hope, not wish, but having the desire and being ready when it's time to take that action. We're then going to move into wishing versus ready. We're going to talk about faith, visualization of desire. That's a huge one, so hang with me on this. We're going to go into self-confidence formula. And why am I going to bring that up? Because a lot of people never reach the success that they desire, deserve, or should have because of a lack of self-confidence. They don't believe in themselves enough to be ready, okay? We're going to go into major attributes of leadership. We're going to talk about major causes of failure. We're also going to talk about how to outwit the sixth ghost of fear. Outwit the sixth ghost of fear. You might be wondering, what are the 6 fears? Well, that's the very last chapter in this book that probably has a profound effect on where you are in your life. Then we're going to talk about the self-analysis test question, and that's going to be a homework assignment for you. So, anyways, if you're just joining us, this is Zack Childress with the REI Success Academy family, and we are here bringing you our every Wednesday Dig Deeper book review at 1:30 Eastern Time Zone live on Facebook. Yes, I'm going live on Facebook. That looked like, who does that? Who did that? President Nixon? I just want peace for everyone. I don't think that's what he said, but hey, sounded good. So yes, we are live on Facebook. We are doing our Dig Deeper book review. Oh, what was that? That's our tickets that we still have left. I'm down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm down to 8 from yesterday. So we're already we're running out. We've already sold out of our gold tickets. We've already sold out of our silver tickets. And we only have 8 left of our general admission tickets. So, and we're a month away from the event and we're already selling out. So I know that you guys need to be aware that that's what your call to action is to get yourself in a position to be more engaged in what we're doing and the training that you need. If you love the free stuff that we do, if you love our Monday REI Success Tips, if you love our Tuesday Real Estate Investing Talk Show, where you get behind the scenes as I go on the blog talk radio, and you love our Wednesday Dig Deeper, and you love our Thursday Student Reviews, and you love all the little videos I do, then you need to be at our live event so that you can really grow your business even more, okay? Brand new model for this event. So I share that with you because I want you to be engaged, okay? All right. Let me click some buttons over here. Let me do this. Let me click some buttons around here. All right. Okay, so let's do this. Let's move right into the book. So now you guys understand the concept. So the concept was what? Carnegie wanted to find a similar path amongst all these successful people. So he reached out and he wanted to find somebody that could articulate and interview all these successful people over the next 20 years to formulate what was a common thread amongst all of them. I mean, could you imagine if someone said to you, I'm going to hire you to interview some of the most highly successful people in the world to really define what their success is, and you're going to do it for the next 20 years. Oh, and by the way, I'm not going to pay you. So you're going to work for 20 years, and I'm not going to pay you, okay? But what you will get from this next 20 years will change your entire life. Do you know how many people would actually do that? Very few, because why? We have a sense of what's known as immediate gratitude. We all want immediate gratitude. Not too many people will ever work for free. Now, I know some people who've worked for free in my life, me being one of them. When I wanted to get into more involved in multiple businesses, I volunteered my time for free. Why would I do that? Why? Because I saw the value in surrounding myself with people that knew more than me, and if I could trade my time and get on a plane and pay for that and fly over to where they were at and feed myself and put myself in a hotel room just so that I could be around them, I was willing to do that. And that catapulted me into a whole nother level of real estate investing, catapulted me into a whole new level of owning businesses. And I'll never forget, there was a guy that understood this book better than anything. His name's Brian Holmes. And I'll never forget, he was hunting me down. I lived out in California at the time, and he wanted to work for me. He said, look, he lived in San Jose, and I lived up in the Bay Area. It was like an hour and 45-minute drive. And he said, look, I want to work for you. I want to work for you. I want to work for you. And I kept saying, I'm not hiring anybody. I'm not hiring anybody. And then he called me up one day and he said, look, man, I really want to come work with you and learn how you're doing your real estate business. And I said, man, I'm not hiring anybody. I mean, I already had an office full of like 14 people at the time. And he's like, look, I'll come work for free. And I thought, well, I just opened a spot. How about that? I just opened a spot for you. So, but that's called dedication. That's understanding the power of associating around people that know more than you. And so, and think about like right now in my office, right now, we have students all in the office right now. I have students meeting with student advisors in the office. I got students in the boardroom who came to spend 2 days with me so I could help them grow their business. They're on lunch. I'm in here filming this with you. But we got everything. Like, we're not only just training and we're not only doing it, but we got people coming here to learn and grow. Because why? They want to think and grow rich, and they understand the power of investing in themselves and being around people that know more than they do so that they can absorb that information, okay? And so I share that with you because that's really the foundation of this entire book. So, anyway, listen, I love all the thumbs up and the hearts coming across out there, guys. It touches me in ways. Oh, this is PG channel, okay? So, anybody got anything to say so far this morning?
Toby.
Toby!
Here, yes.
Toby, we missed you yesterday. Oh, Toby, loyal fan. I just like Toby a whole lot.
Me too.
What's Toby saying?
She is on it. She said, we're digging deeper, putting myself in that position. Engaging is very important. She likes that.
Good job, Toby.
She also said she would work for free.
Toby will work for free. See, Toby, you get it. You know what, Toby? I'm going to give you a free ticket. There you go, Toby. I'm going to give you a free general admission ticket. It's a $200 value right now. All you need to do is get to the event, and I'm going to get you in for free. How about that, Toby? I'm giving you this, Toby, because you know why? You're always on here. You're always engaged. You're always making things happen. This is for you, Toby. I'm handing this to Jill right now. I'm going to sign the back of it for you, Toby. Okay? I'm signing it right now, Toby. This is for you. How do we spell Toby?
T-O-B-E-Y.
T-O-B-E-Y. Toby. All right, there we go, Toby. This is your ticket right here.
You have Lupe Garcia, who says that it's a great book, so...
Lupe! Welcome to the show, Lupe. I got a show for you today. All right, Toby, I just rewarded you. I hope you give me some love for that, Toby. And I hope you show up, okay? Don't you dare make me regret giving away a free ticket, okay? You better show up. All right? So anyways, here we go. So now you guys understand the foundation of what this book is all about. So moving into chapter 1, let's dig deeper. Let me get a hashtag, dig deeper. Let's dig deeper into this book right now. It's going to change the mind. It's going to change the way you think. It changes everything, okay? So in chapter 1, this is all about the man who thought his way into a partnership with Thomas Edison. Did you hear that? The man who thought his way in. Because why? Where does it start? It starts in the mind. So let me introduce you to Edwin Barnes. A little more than 30 years ago, now this is back when Napoleon Hill wrote this book, okay? Edwin Barnes discovered how true it is that men really do think and grow rich. His discovery did not come about at one sitting. It came little by little, beginning with a burning desire to become a business associate of the great Edison. Now, you guys got to understand something. Edison didn't even know who Edwin Barnes was, first off, okay? Had no clue who this guy was. Edwin Barnes knew he couldn't just walk into Thomas Edison's office and say, hey, look, I want to be your business partner. Like, how many people would laugh you out of a room if you said that, right? So, but listen to this, though. Psychologists have correctly said that when one is truly ready, listen, when one is truly ready for a thing, it puts in its appearance. Barnes was ready for a business associate with Edison. Moreover, he was determined to remain ready until he got that which he was seeking. See, do you understand just that one paragraph, how many people have no clue? Because we go after something, we want it. We say, we want this, we want this, we want this. But then when we don't get it fast enough, what do? We give up. We quit. We say, oh, it didn't happen, it don't work. Oh, this don't work, this don't work. That's not, you got to be ready. You got to stay ready. You understand? He goes on to say, he did not say to himself, oh, well, what's the use anyways, right? I guess I'll change my mind and try for a salesman job. But he did say, I came here to go into business with Thomas Edison, and I'll accomplish this, and if it takes the remainder of my life, okay? He meant it. What a different story men would have to tell if only they would adopt a definite purpose and stand by that purpose until it had time to become an all-consuming obsession. Think about this. I'm going to go back into this. He says, I'll accomplish it. I will accomplish this, and if it takes the remainder of my life. Let me help you understand something about me real quick. So now, guys, if you're just joining me, we're digging deeper into Think and Grow Rich, and we're breaking it down. So when I first started my journey in real estate investing, I remember I used to say to myself constantly, this is all I've got. Plan A. There is no plan B for me. I am going to make this work if it takes the rest of my life. I used to say that all the time to myself. I used to say, look, I may not get everything I want right now, but I'm going to stay ready, and I'm always going to be in this, and I'll never stop going after what I want. And so you got to think about where your true desire is, because ultimately you have to adopt a defining purpose and stand by that purpose. If this is your purpose, don't be waved by what others say, what others do. This is your purpose. Stand strong in that purpose. And it says, by that purpose, until it had time to become, you ready? An all-consuming obsession. People say all the time, oh, Zach, you're obsessed with business. Yes, I am. I'm obsessed with business because I love it. I love everything about it. I love creating multiple companies. And the beauty of it is I love it so much that it is what's given me the lifestyle that I love more than anything. But there is a point in every new entrepreneur's growth that you have a defined moment to either be ready or keep wishing. Because if you're ready, you will adapt your purpose into an obsession that no one can wave from you, okay? So literally, here's what he says. Barnes literally thought, you ready? He thought himself into a partnership with the great Thomas Edison. He thought himself into a future. He had nothing to start with except the capacity to know what he wanted and the determination to stand by that desire until he realized it. Do you get that? Like, most people don't believe in themselves enough to be able to be driven by an internal purpose long enough to reach the success that they desire. You got me? They can't stay committed to themselves long enough to be driven by the purpose long enough to be able to live in the moment that they seek through the desire that they have. You have to believe in you, guys. You can't do this any other way. This is why we're going to talk about self-confidence formula. Because let me tell you something. Are there going to be people out there that are going to tell you you're wrong or it can't be done? Of course they are. Are we going to have haters? Absolutely we are. But you know what? You need to be strong enough to call haters out. Listen, haters hate on you because their life is horrible. That's why they hate on you. They want to try to bring you down to their level. Listen, people will find anything to hate on you about. You become successful, next thing you know, you're not hanging out with the same people anymore because they just don't guide you into the path that you need to be in. Oh, well, now they're going to hate on you. Oh, you're not hanging out with us all the time. Listen, I hung out with you for 15 years of my life. I got nowhere. Love you. Let's hang out some other time, but I'm not going to hang out with you every day anymore. I've got to worry about me and my life. Right? Because listen, that's how it works. You become successful in life. You become a business owner. You start doing lots of good things. You start helping massive amounts of people all over the world. Guess what? That one person that did not get what they thought they could get out of life because they didn't try hard enough, well, it can't be their fault, can it? So whose fault is it? It's yours. That's haters, guys. You got to realize they're the ones that are holding you back if you let them. Don't worry about the haters. Haters are going to hate, and guess what? They're always going to stay where they've always been, complaining about everything else in life. It's your responsibility to remove them from your life. All right, let's dig here. 3 feet from gold. This is all in the first chapter. Jeez, we ain't got through 2 chapters yet. 3 feet from gold. One of the most common causes of failure is the habit of quitting when one is overtaken by temporary fear. You hear that word? Temporary. Fear is not long-term. And that's what you have to understand. Fear is not long-term. Fear is always temporary. And the reason that we fear something is because of the unknown. We don't know what the outcome is. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's around the corner. Oh, it's dark. I can't see. That's called temporary fear. Fear does not last forever. The only reason fear stays in your life is because you allow those types of fears to control your actions. But I'll tell you something I learned a long time ago. That the faster that you move forward through fear, the faster the fear goes away. Because all fear is temporary. And you just have to have the belief in yourself that you're going to make it through. That's what you have to have. Are you understanding me? Let me see some thumbs up. Are you understanding me? Don't ever get into a point in your life where you think fear is going to last forever. If you've gotten to that point in your life where you think fear is going to last forever, it's because you've allowed yourself to be consumed by exterior forces and you're not believing in your true divine purpose to live a great and extraordinary life. Guys, I said it in a post, I think it was the other day or something, that, somebody had wrote something about life and choices and how, it moves you around from here to there. And I've said, one of the greatest gifts that our Father in heaven ever gave me, he gave it to you too. You may not realize it, but he gave it to you too, is that he gave us the ability of choice. That's what he gave us, the ability of choice. So with that ability of choice, it means that we have the choice to define the life we want to live. It's our choice. You understand? We can choose to be miserable. We can choose to stay down. We can choose to not get out of bed. Or we can choose to rise up every day and face the challenges and be challenged and be rewarded and to say, look, I want to be bigger. I want to be better. I want to grow. And that's your choice to do that. Nobody else's. And guess what? Is it going to get hard? Of course it's going to get hard. But whose choice is it to keep going? It's yours. All right, here's another one I want to talk to you about. Remembering that he lost a huge fortune because he stopped 3 feet from gold. So if you've never understood the story from 3 feet from gold, you should read it. It's on page 11 and 12 in this book. But the guy was digging for gold. Okay, and he was digging, and he was digging, and he was digging. He digged for days and weeks, however the story goes. And he got tired. He started second-guessing himself. He started thinking, well, maybe another area would produce more gold because I haven't found any here. And so he decided to quit. They sold the machinery to a junk man. So the guy says, I'm out. I'm just going to sell all my equipment and move on. He sold it to a junk man for a few $100s and took the train back home. He was done. He quit. He gave up. He's done. Now listen to this. The junk man, or he said, some junk men are dumb, but not this one. He called a mining engineer to look at the mine and do a little calculation. The engineer advised that the project had failed because the owner were not familiar with fault lines. His calculations showed that the vine, if you guys don't understand how gold works, so in the earth, gold is pretty much produced in what's called a fault line, which is a vine that runs through like 2 plate lines in the earth. Yes, I know a little bit about gold. I used to own part of a gold mine. But when 2 plate lines start to shift, that's where the gold gets concentrated and it grows. So what happens is miners dig in to find this vine, and once they hit that vine, they turn and they start digging through that fault line to extract all the gold out of the vine. Well, this guy wasn't educated enough, right? He just wanted to dig a hole and find gold. This goes back to why you have to invest in yourself. You've got to educate yourself. You've got to get the right team. You've got to get the right support. You've got to get the right people to help guide you to how to make the money. Well, that's what the junk man did, okay? And so the guy stopped 3 feet from gold. Derby profited by the experience in his choices to work and get people to help him. By the simple method of saying to himself, I stopped 3 feet from gold, but I will never stop because men say no when I ask them to now buy insurance. So he's an insurance salesman now. All right, before success comes into any man's life, listen, he is sure to meet with much temporary defeat. You understand this? How many of you believe in what's called the seasons of life? You guys believe in that? Jill, you believe in it?
I do.
I believe in it. We got a lot of thumbs up, so I guess we got a lot of people that believe in it. There are different seasons in life, right? We move into the winter season. That's usually a season of hard times and tough. And then we move into spring, and that's when we're reborn again, and we see new visions and new lights and opportunities. And then we hit summer when things are just on fire, like we couldn't be growing faster than we've ever dreamed of. And then we hit fall seasons in our life where it starts to slow down, and we're trying to figure out, like, who moved the cheese, and do we need to go find some cheese? And we start looking around for good angles, and then a winter season might hit again for you. So that's what when I say with much temporary defeat, because in business, that happens. In a successful career, that happens. You can start with a company, be all excited to work for them, get all in the middle of it, get in, start learning everything, start really producing, and then you hit a lull. You get comfortable. The next thing you know, you're not performing anymore. Well, that's a temporary defeat. It's a choice in which you have the ability to get out of. What does that mean? That means if you're in a lull in life or in a lull in your employment, you can't just assume that you getting up and coming to work every day, things are going to change. You've got to make changes yourself. You've got to put in the extra time at home. You've got to put in the extra time in the mornings. You've got to show up early and stay late. You've got to make the commitment to change so that you can get yourself out of that winter season or that temporary defeat so that you can become a champion again. So he says here, he is sure to meet with much temporary defeat and perhaps some failure. I'm going to tell you right now, never ever work with a coach like myself that has never failed, okay? Never. I'm going to tell you that right now. I've learned more in my failures than I have ever learned in my successes. And here's why. Because when you fail, if you're anything like me, man, you beat yourself up over and over and over about it. You just play it back in your head and you play like you're your worst own enemy in that case. And that's a sign of greatness, guys. That's because you're trying, your own instinct is trying to make you better. It's saying, hey, look, yeah, you busted your rear end here. You fell bad. But let's fix it. Let's get better at it. Let's figure out how to do what you need to do to grow. Okay? And that's where failure comes in. So don't be afraid to fail. I'm going to tell you right now, expect to fail. But don't expect to stay failed. Or stay down is a better way of saying it. Because failure is going to come. But you've got to have the ability to remember that, hey, look, if I failed, I'm going to keep going. Okay? When defeat overtakes a man, the easiest and the most logical thing to do is quit. Right? Oh, it beat me. I should quit. Guys, let me tell you, if my trainer was listening in on this right now and I said, man, I'm tired, I'm quitting. Woo! I don't think that would go over very well, right? But that's the beauty of having a coach in your life, right? A coach isn't going to let you quit. My coach won't let me quit because we all understand, like I'm not going to let my students quit because we all understand that right past all that failure, right past all that defeat that you're going through is greatness on the other side, okay? And so, but most people mentally want to quit. This is exactly what the majority of men do. More than 500 of the most successful men in this country has ever known told the author being Napoleon Hill, their greatest success, listen, over 500 of the greatest successful businessmen in this country has ever seen that was interviewed by Napoleon Hill said this. Wherever I said that. Oh. Ever known, told the author their greatest success came just one step beyond the point at which defeat had taken them. Failure is a trickster with a keen sense of irony and cunningness. Think about that. That's what you got to think about. Here's the thing. You understand, like we have all these forces trying to prevent us from being great. We have all these forces trying to hold us back from reaching our true potential. So when we are trying to grow and we're trying to become great and we're going through life and everything's trying to hold us back and put us down and slap us and knock us down, it's the irony behind that. Because the irony is that it's all part of the process and you just got to keep moving forward because that's when greatness happens. And if you think it won't happen again, then you're naive. It's always going to keep happening, okay? All right. Let me move on over to another part I marked in here. I think we're still in chapter 1. All right. Here's a nice little thing that he said here. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul. I love that quote, right? You are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Think about that, right? That's huge, man. I love that quote. We should put that up on the wall somewhere.
What one?
It says, you are the master of your fate and the captain of your soul.
I like that too.
I know, isn't that great?
Yeah.
The master of your fate. How many of you like that one? You like that one, guys? Write it down. The master. You're the master of your fate and the captain of your soul. Love it. Chapter 2. Now we're going to dig in a little bit deeper. Dig deeper. Woo! Hashtag. All right. Chapter 2. Desire. What do you desire? Think about what I desire peanut butter.
I desire peanut butter cups.
That's my weakness. I like peanut butter cups too. But,
Frozen, there's the best.
I don't know what it is about peanut butter and me, but I like me some peanut butter. I think when I was a kid, I kind of got hooked on it because my mom used to set me in front of a TV and then hand me a jar of peanut butter and a spoon. And basically it was to shut me up, right? Because if I'm sucking on peanut butter, I can't talk, and if I'm watching cartoons, I'm distracted, so I left her alone. Could you imagine me as a child? I was, why is that? Why is that? Why? Yes, and now I have 2 of them running around doing the same thing I did. So chapter 2 is the desire. The starting point of all achievements. Do you understand? You can't achieve anything in life without starting with a desire. So Barnes, remember, we're still talking about Barnes here. And what did Barnes do? Barnes thought his way into a partnership with Thomas Edison. So Barnes' desire was not a hope. You guys, if you've experienced anything with me, even at my live events, I've said over and over, we're not in the hope business, guys. We're in the do business. Hope is not what we're signed up for. We're in the do. You've got to be ready to take action and move forward in your business because this is a do business. You understand? Barnes' desire was not a hope. It was not a wish. It was a keen, pulsating desire. Like a pulse, right? Your desire runs the blood through your body to where you just want to grow and grow and grow, which transcended everything else. It was like fate, really, if you think about it. But it was definite purpose driven. He goes on to say, a few years later, Edwin Barnes again, here he goes. Now this was really, I think it was like 5 years later that he worked for the Edison Corporation before he ever actually got to fulfill his desire and his visual purpose of what he set out to do. But a few years later, Edwin Barnes again stood before Thomas Edison in the same office where he first met the inventor. This time, his desire had been translated into reality. He was in business with Edison. The dominating dream of his life had become reality. You guys understand that? Manifestation. Think it, believe it, live it as if you're already doing it, right? You got to do it, guys. Barnes succeeded because he chose a defined goal. He placed all his energy, all his willpower, all his effort, everything back of the goal. He did not become the partner of Edison the day he arrived. Listen to me, guys. He did not become the partner of Edison the day he arrived. He was content to start in the most minimal work position, as long as it provided an opportunity to take even one step towards his cherished goal. 5 years passed. I knew that was in him. Before the chance he had been seeking made its appearance. 5 years of working a minimal job because he visualized that he would be Edison's partner. He visualized it. He got up every day and said, this is just a step that I've got to take to get to my ultimate goal. How many of you would wait 5 years to reach your goal and never knowing if it was going to happen? Very few would, because lack of self-confidence and belief in the ability to what you focus on, you'll achieve. See, he goes on to say, when he went to Orange, he did not say to himself, I will try to induce Edison to give me a job of some sort. He said, I will see Edison and put him on notice that I have come to go into business with him. I love that confidence. I'm putting you on notice. He did not say, I will work there for a few months, and if I get no encouragement, I will quit and get a job somewhere else. He did say, I will start anywhere. I will do anything Edison tells me to do, but before I am through, I will be his associate. He did not say, I will keep my eyes open for another opportunity in case I fail to get what I want in Edison's organization. He did say, there is but one thing in this world that I am determined to have, and that is a business association with Thomas A. Edison. I will burn all bridges behind me. I will stake my entire future on my ability to get what I want. He left himself no possible way to retreat. He had to win or die trying. Listen to me. This takes me all the way back 16 years ago when I was with my partner at the time, and I looked her in the eyes and I said, there is no plan B here. This is plan A. I'm going to give this everything I got, and it's going to work. It may not work right now. It may not work next year, but it's going to work. I believe in me, and I believe in the process, and I am not going to have an escape route to get out of. Plan A. I've said it over and over at my live events. People go, oh, well, I like to have a plan B and a plan C. But let me explain something to you, what happens in your mindset. When you got plan B and plan C and plan D and E, F, G, X, Y, M, O, P, Q, R, S, D, U, whatever, do you understand that you never really give plan A everything you got? Because when plan A gets hard, guess what you do? You start thinking about plan B and plan C and plan E, F, Y, M, O, P, Q, R, S, D, U, V. Plan A. Think about it. He did not say, I will keep my eyes open for other opportunities in case I fail to get what I want from Edison's organization. He did say, there is but one thing in this world that I am determined to have, and that is a business association with Thomas A. Edison. Listen, listen, listen. I will burn all bridges behind me and stake my entire future on my ability to get what I want. You understand? Like, this is about you guys. This isn't about anybody else. This is about you and what you want and what you desire. He goes on to say, here's the method by which desire for riches. Listen to this. This is really good. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit. The method by which desire for riches can be transmuted into financial equivalent consists of 6 defined practice steps. You ready for this? You need to listen right now. Number 1, be definite as to the amount in which you want. Okay. Number 2, determine exactly what you intend to give in return for it. Number 3, establish a definite date when you intend to process or possess the money you desire. Right? Like, think it, write it down, give it deadlines. Number 4, create a defined plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once. Guys, this is not a wait till tomorrow. This is not I'll think about it. This is your life. This is your life. You got 5 seconds to make a decision. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you didn't make it, then you're not willing to do it. You understand that when we think of something, within 5 seconds we talk ourselves out of it. That's the inherent or the internal laziness in us. We just don't want to do it. You got 5 seconds, guys. You got 5 seconds to make the decision and then to act on it before you talk yourself out of it. Number 5, write out clear, concise statements of the amount of money you intend to acquire. Name the time limit for this acquisition, state what you intend to give in return for the money, and describe clearly the plan through which you intend to accumulate it. The 6th one is, read your written statement out loud twice daily. Once just before retiring at night and once after rising in the morning. as you read, see, and feel and believe yourself already in possession of what you want. Guys, you got to understand that this is not get up, work hard every day. This starts up here. You got to start thinking about it, okay? Man, I wish I might have to do a part 2 on this. All right.
This is a good book. You got everybody fired up.
Yeah, this is a great book. And look, I'm only in chapter 2 right now. I thought I was going to get through all this. I might have to do a part 2 on this. All right, here's another one. There is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. Wishing and being ready, okay? No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness. Did you hear me? Open-mindedness. You got to have that. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Closed minds do not inspire faith, courage, or belief. A closed-minded person will never believe in others, much less themselves. They will never have faith in themselves, much less others. And they will never, ever have the courage to go out. Who remembers the Who Moved My Cheese book, right? Scurry and Snitch. You remember those characters? This is what this is about. Now here's this. Remember, no more effort. Now, oh gosh, this is so important. Listen to this. And I believe this in all my heart. There is no more effort is required to aim high in life, to determine or to demand abundance and prosperity than is required to accept misery and poverty. No more is needed. A great poet has correctly stated this universal truth through this poem. I don't know, should I read the poem?
Sure.
Should I read the poem? Or are you guys not in the mood for a poem right now?
While we're deciding that, I will tell you, Toby said she has herself a check written and she's got it protected in her closet.
How much?
I think that's great.
I think so. Depends on how much, Toby. $1 billion. Anyways, maybe I won't read the poem. Nobody gave me a go read the poem. All right. You guys don't want to hear my poetry then. All right. I am definitely not going to be able to get through this whole book. So there's just too much I want to talk about in here. So we are going to have a part 2. If you guys like this, give me a thumbs up. Give me some hearts. Tell me you want to have a part 2 and I'll give you a part 2. So chapter 3, this is in chapter, now listen, I know I'm covering chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, but I don't go through every single chapter through this whole book, even though I really should. But here's what I'm going to leave you on today, and then I'm going to answer some questions, and we are going to do a part 2 on this because I can't get through this whole thing. So chapter 3 is all about what's called faith visualization of and belief in attainment of desire. Okay? So I love this part. The second step towards riches. Faith. Woo! What was the first step? Who remembers the first step? Anybody remember the first step? Was it desire? That's right. Second step is faith. Faith is the head chemist of the mind. When faith is blended with the vibration of thought, the subsequential's mind instantly picks up the vibration, translates it into its spiritual equivalent, and transmits it to infinite intelligence, as in the case of prayer. Woo, was that deep, man? Man, that was deep right there. But you understand, faith is more than prayer. Let's be very clear on this. Some people, when you use the word faith, they go, oh, this guy's all Christian. Well, first off, I am. And if you don't like that, then I'm sorry. I still love you. And trust me, we're all going to love you at the end anyways. I just know where I'm going to be. But what I want to be clear with you is faith is more than just prayer and religion. Faith is your unconditional ability to see and believe in things that aren't visually in front of your face. You understand that? That's what faith is. Do you know what the opposite of faith is? Sight. That's what it is. Because faith takes us to a whole other world in our life that says we can't see it, but we got faith in it, and we believe it's going to happen. We believe it's going to be created in my world. That's what faith is. So faith in ourself is something that we all have to learn to have and create. So I'm going to talk to you how to develop faith, right? There comes now a statement which will give a better understanding of the importance, the principles of autosuggestions. Go study that. That's something that you really want to understand. The principles of autosuggestion assumes in the transmutation of desire into its physical or monetary equivalent, namely faith. Woo, man, if you're from Alabama, that was hard for me to read, okay? Let me read that again for you. There comes now a statement which will give you a better understanding of the importance the principle of autosuggestion assumes in the transmutation of desire into its physical or monetary equivalent, namely faith, is the state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation. Woo! Highlight that one. Affirmation, or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of autosuggestions. Guys, you get it now. Why do you think we always say, look, you got to talk to yourself. You got to talk to yourself. You got to manifest yourself. You got to be telling yourself what you want all the time. You got to not just be telling yourself what you want all the time, but you got to be telling yourself how great you are. You got to be telling yourself all the things that you're going to do. You just got to talk to yourself. Listen, what you'll find out is you're the most intelligent person you've ever talked to. That's right. Because you'll always believe in you once you get to a certain point. You're your biggest fan. You're the person that's going to get you where you want to be. But it starts with faith. And how do we create faith? Well, faith is the state of mind which may be induced. Induced means we can turn it up even more. Or created. So if we don't have it, we can create it by affirmation, which is positive communication to yourself. Or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principles of autosuggestions. I am great. I will be great. I can negotiate any deal that comes before me. I will find the best deals in the market. I will become the best marketer there ever existed. I will do more deals than anyone in my market ever thought about doing. That's autosuggestions. You say it enough and enough, and the affirmations that come with it, you change the subconscious from being a negative naysayer to you to starting to tell you good things constantly. Well, you can do this. You can do this. You overcome fear this way as well. All right? I'm going to end on this section right here. And when I come back next week, we're going to pick up on self-confidence formula. We're going to go into the self-confidence formula. So I need to mark this so I don't lose this. Man, this book is just too good. I could go on for hours on this book. All right, here we go. Here we go. Faith is a state of mind which may be induced by autosuggestion. I know this is some deep stuff right now, but what's the whole title of our book review? Dig deeper. Listen, if you don't want to dig deeper, don't show up, man. Look, dig deeper, don't dig at all. That's my slogan. That's the way I look at it. Dig deeper, don't dig at all. It says, in language which any normal human being can understand, we will describe all that is known about the principles through which faith may be developed. Where it does not already exist, have faith in yourself, faith in the infinite. Before we begin, you should be reminded again that faith is the external elixir which gives life, power, and action to the impulse of thought. The foregoing sentence is worth reading a second time, and a third, and a fourth. It is worth reading out loud over and over. You ready with me? I'll say it and you repeat it, okay? Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. The next one. Faith is the basis of all miracles, all mysteries which cannot be analyzed by the rules of science. Faith is the basis of all miracles and all mysteries which cannot be analyzed by the rules of science. Faith is the only known antidote for failure. That's a big one. Faith is the only known antidote for failure. Faith is the element, the chemical which, when mixed with prayer, gives one direct communication with infinite intelligence. Faith is the element which transforms the ordinary vibration of thought created by the infinite mind of men into spiritual equivalent. Faith is the only agency through which the cosmic force of infinite intelligence can be harnessed and used by man. Every one of the foregoing statements is capital of proof. Guys, man, I love this book. I love it. I love this book. You know why? Because if you just read those first 3 chapters, it'd change your mind. It'd change your outcome. It'd change your life if you believed in it. You know, but there's a lot of people out there that'll tell you, oh, that stuff's not real. That stuff's not real. But you're looking at a guy that from the time I was 16 years old, I started manifesting my life. I started thinking about what I wanted. I started being ready for it. I didn't look at my life and what I was surrounded with. I grew up in a trailer park with a single mom, struggling. I'm not supposed to be where I am. But the only reason that I am where I am is because I was gifted with the ability to have choice in my life. And I embraced that choice. And not only embraced that choice, but I embraced the ability that I knew that if I wanted something out of life, I had to change the way I thought. And I had to embrace all the things that were coming my way. And I had to be ready for everything. I had to live in the moment. I had to talk to myself. I had to tell myself I was meant for greatness. I had to tell myself that I was ready for anything. I had to tell myself that I believed in me more than anybody would ever believe in me, and that I could achieve anything that I set my mind out to do. Now, I was fortunate to have a mother that told me all that stuff too. And because of that, I believe that's why I am where I am today. And I share that with you because if you're watching this now or you're coming back and watching it and you're like, who's this crazy guy? Well, I'm Zack Childress, by the way. Let me just start that. And you're on my Dig Deeper book review, and we're going over Think and Grow Rich if you're trying to figure out what we're doing. But I didn't get through it all, so there's going to be a part 2. I got a whole nother section of folded over tabs, and I want to teach you guys about this book. But listen, I enjoy that you're here. I appreciate you guys coming on and communicating and looking to better yourselves and digging deeper into your life and trying to find ways to make you better. And I wish I could stay on here for another hour with you, but I got 2 students over here in the boardroom that flew all the way here from Phoenix to get help from me to grow their business. And so I got to go back over here and teach these guys how to blow up their business. Boom! Because that's what we do for people like you. All right? Anything I need to know about Facebook right now?
Yeah, Toby answered. She said that the check that she has written to herself is $140,000 for profit in the first year.
$140,000 profit your first year. Toby, that's good. I'm proud of you. That's manifestation. Frame it. Stick it up. Okay? Frame it. Put it up in front of you somewhere. Don't hide it. Don't hide it. Stick it. Get it out. You need to look at it every day. It's like affirmation. You need to look at it every day, every day, every day, every day. You need to look at it so that it embeds into your mind. Okay?
Lupe.
Lupe!
She says the desire to change must be greater than to stay the same.
That's right. The desire to change will never happen if it is not greater than your comfort zone. Let me explain something to you. My comfort zone freaks me out. Like, it freaks me out. You know why? Because when I start getting comfortable and just like, oh, life's great, I start freaking out. Because in that moment, I realize I'm not growing. I'm not doing anything. I'm sitting stagnant. And you know what happens to stagnant water?
It gets moldy.
It gets moldy, and nobody wants to be around it. Okay? So, don't be stagnant. So that should drive you.
Don't be the mold.
Don't be the mold. Hashtag that. Don't be the mold. Anything else?
Nope, that's about it.
Awesome.
We've got everybody.
Well, listen, I appreciate you guys. Even those that are watching it later, write a comment. Tell me what you're going to do. Listen, the biggest thing you can do for me is what? Share this stream with someone that you know that needs this type of information. Someone that you know that wants to benefit from really changing their mindset, growing their business. Reach out to us. If you haven't gotten to our event or scheduled for the event, I got 7 tickets left because I just gave one to Toby. So I got 7 tickets left. freedomfromflipping.com. freedomfromflipping.com. You need to get registered for that. And remember, like our page up here somewhere. I think it's up over here somewhere. It might be. Wait a minute. Where's that video? I think it's like over. Oh. Yeah, like the video. That's for sure. But I need you to like the page too, okay? So that you get comments from this. So do that. Be part of this. Share the stream. Share the stream. I love all you guys for being on here and growing your business. I think it's powerful to support the mission. So, all right. So, guys, this is Zack Childress. And I'm going to part ways with you right now. So, I'll see you next week. Remember, Monday, Our Guy Success Tips. Check your email. We're emailing them out to you. You need to check your email. It comes out every Monday. If you don't get it, call the office. It's powerful. Tuesdays, we go Real Estate Investing Talk Show. It's right here on Facebook, 1:30 live Eastern Time Zone. Wednesdays, we're going to dig deeper back into part 2 of Think and Grow Rich, 1:30 Eastern Time Zone. Thursdays, your student success stories. I'll see you guys real soon. Bye now.